It will go. Okay. Hey everyone, how are you doing? It is BE. Ready?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
All right. From the VeveDrop. Sorry guys, this is we're working out the kinks here, but this is BE from the VeveDrop channel, and I'm here with MoKnowz. And let's get started. Hey Mo, how are you doing today?
Yo, what's going on, VE? What up, chat? Just hanging out, man. Just figured we kind of pick up where we left off, and well, looking forward, man. Doing the flip. Got a couple things to talk about today, and we'll kind of get around it, man. But how's everything by you?
Everything's going well here. Yep.
Very nice, very nice. But yeah, I will. Couple things here. I think most people probably don't know who the hell either one of us are. Let's be honest. Tell us a little about yourself, man. What do you got going on? What do you do on a day to day?
Well, it seems like I do a lot of this VeVe stuff. Do a lot of YouTube content. I do have a real job selling some stuff on Amazon. I've got a friend in China I work with, but I've been working a lot on this, and it's exciting. I enjoy it and making videos and all sorts of things like that. So, and what about you, Mo? I'm getting a little echo here. I don't know if that's on my end.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of a like a gargle almost. Yeah. Again, this is a test pilot episode, so we're just trying to work out the kinks here. The mic was definitely better on Discord, but your camera quality was trash. We kind of went over that for anybody wondering. We tried to start at 6 p.m. right, but a little bit of technical difficulties here first week. So yeah, is there a setting where you could check your mic to make sure it's using the Yeti?
Let's see here. I think let's give this a try. Does this sound better? I think we're no, I'm not getting it.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
There we go. Now we're good. Sorry,
All right.
guys.
Yeah, it's almost like your audio was looping. It was quite an experience here, but we aim to please, right? So
Yeah, we do. It looks like we've got Alejandro here. What's up, guys?
oh yeah,
One guy.
Alejandro, what up, dude?
Glad you could join us. And I guess why don't we get into this? Let's talk about what's going on in the VeVeverse, the Metaverse, Meta. As some of you might know, Meta is no longer pitching the Metaverse to their advertisers. So, and I did a video on this. Basically, it means it's over in my mind. I think it's a big issue. When you're dealing with technology that maybe goes back to PlayStation in 2008, and here we are in 2023, and they're still working on something with old school stuff. And I'm not sure how this is going to affect other verses like VeVeverse. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. Mo, what do you think about this?
I mean, I think that first and foremost, they're just trying to shift focus right into AI and other tools, I guess, right, according to this, which makes sense because AI is probably the best way to make money right now. I mean, between ChatGPT and you got Microsoft with theirs, and then you got Google now with Bard. So I mean, Bard's looking to make some innovation with AI. I mean, they got to keep up, right? And let's face it, I've always said this about the metaverse. The metaverse is a joke. The metaverse is a scam. This ain't Fudders anymore. You know what I'm saying? There might only be two of us here, Rip Vault. But bottom line is that what is the metaverse? No one could ever define what the metaverse is. What we really just need is an extension of the social platforms we already have. And I think that's all the metaverse really was ever going to be anyway. So, dropping that through, whether it be the VeVeverse tied to a wallet, whether it be Twitter with some sort of virtual, augmented reality compatibility, right? I mean, there's so many different avenues. I think we're going to kind of start to shift focus here where the metaverse just becomes like, again, just a social platform, right? A matchmaking system, a place to go hang out, like kind of like in The Sims when you go downtown, to find people to mingle with, right? I mean, that to me, that's what I always thought the metaverse was anyway. Not this grand scheme of player ready one and whatever the hell Zuckerberg thought it was going to be. I mean, am I off base with that? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. Well, first, the adoption of another expensive piece of equipment, I think is kind of crazy. Two, $300, $1,500 for their like really good headset, which is supposed to be for professionals to, businesses to use. So I think that's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I'm just not sure what they were thinking. Looks like it disappeared here for a second. That's probably better for everyone. But anyways, yeah. So uh, we have that issue with the adoption of the equipment, and of course, you know, we can shop on our phone,
Uh-oh.
right? We can look at stuff on the TV. Do we really need all this? Do we need this place where we're walking in as an avatar? So I think you're absolutely right with somehow connecting it with social media and just going from there. So uh I think they're just going to have to stop what they're doing and scrap it and start fresh.
Yep, and shout out to Mr. Vault, by the way. His ears must have been ringing when I said the written vault. We do miss you, but here we are. We're just trying to trek along. But yeah, man. Yeah, so I think at the end of the day, it's just you're gonna see, because now that gaming, especially when gaming starts to get more involved in all of this, companies like Microsoft and Sony become the bigger players, right? Because they're gonna be the ones that are gonna try to be, working the wallet integration, trying to get people hooked, with the free to play games, and then hey, drop some money on an NFT, right? And Steam doesn't allow it on PC. I think they're looking into reopening it. But Epic Games embraces it, man. Epic Games is a huge proponent. They got Blankos and what's the other one? It's called like Grit, like a cowboy MMO, not MMO, like a BR type of game rather. And I've played it and it's cool. But all these metaverse, Web3 games are nothing more than like tech demos from an Unreal Engine package that were kind of like reskinned, even like Illuvium. I'm not a game developer. I could probably put something better together overnight. It's just, with a little bit of thought, a little bit of ingenuity, it's just, I feel like the whole space was, let's make money. We don't know how to make games. You know what I mean? And that's,
Right.
to me, so that's why I say like companies like Microsoft and Sony, they know how to make games. So they let everybody else fail, right? You let everybody else stumble. And when they're picking up the pieces, Microsoft and Sony come rolling in. And they're like, oh, yeah? All right. Give us the bags, right? Because they're going to trust people like Microsoft and Sony more than they trust some company that's, rugged 4 different groups of people already, right? I mean, to me, that's just, it's kind of how I see it going down.
Yeah, I think Zuckerberg is screwed. I mean, he made a big mistake, billions of dollars, 2% done in the meta. So yeah, I think it's over. I mean, what do you think this is going to do for, let's say, VeVe? I mean, could it be good for the VeVeverse? I mean, honestly, it just has to be something more simple. And like you said, more of a social media type thing. I mean, what are you thinking? Can VeVe pull this off? I mean, they have no money. How are they going to pull off such a big thing? Can they do it?
Well, I haven't used the VeVeverse. I know there were people that played the demo or whatever. I personally think it looks nothing more than a spatial knockoff. I mean, they're probably just using the same exact coding, to be honest, same platform. And like I said, that doesn't impress me.
Right.
Show me a world where my NFT for America Chavez, for instance, who I love so much. I do. I think it's one of the most underrated freaking collectibles. I hope more people burn them during the event too. We'll talk more about that. But it's like I want to have just some sort of interaction with my collectibles, right? Like, I don't just want to look at it in the app. I don't just want to look at it in the VeVeverse. I just want to have it somewhere. I want to have it, I don't know, animated, in a race while I'm racing a car, and it's like on the sideline, just kind of like waving me in or something, or the portals now can be used in like some sort of creative game mode that you make, inside the VeVeverse, if they even allow, something like oh my god, why am I drawing a blank right now? The one that's like Minecraft, but the blockchain one, holy shit. You don't know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about, but
It
that
looks
doesn't
like
mean anything.
Minecraft. It looks like Minecraft, but it's on the blockchain. So basically, everything's like an NFT. You can buy land. Oh my god, why am I feel like an idiot right now on this show?
Hey, Vault probably knows if he's still here.
Wow.
But
It's
yeah,
just
no,
been a
I
crazy.
understand what you're saying. I understand
Yeah.
what you're saying. Like, what it is right now.
Yeah, sandbox. Thank you.
Sandbox. There you go. It's a it's a joke, right? Like I think on all of us, it's kind of a joke. It's not that interesting to me. I mean, I'm an older person, so I don't know what younger users think, but yeah, it doesn't really pull me in. At first, I thought it'd be kind of interesting, and then when I thought about it, I don't need this place that I can walk around as an avatar, saying, "Hey everyone, how are you doing?" It seems ridiculous. Somebody needs to rethink it. There's probably something we'd find interesting that we haven't even thought of. So,
well, so here's again, we're gonna take the flip side of this, right? Let's play off the show here.
absolutely.
On the flip side of all of this, right now it doesn't seem like it makes sense. All right. And I think the reason being is that you have to access all this with some device. You have to use a phone, you have to look at another screen to access your avatar, so it's more like a third-person experience, right? But what happens when, you slip on the Apple lenses or the Google Docs, right? And you're just walking around town and everyone's just got their boop, boop, boop. This is my skin avatar for people that want to take part in this experience, right? So again, I think when we shift more into a wearable type of environment, because right now I think, again, we're just scratching the surface. Apple doing their lenses, confirmed. Google doing their lenses, confirmed. They're big, they're bulky right now, they suck, they got no battery life, but hey, they're working on it. And everything else, just like computers, man, they'll be sitting in the freaking palm of our hand like a microchip. They unfold like Inspector Gadget, right? We're going to see some wild innovation coming up here real soon, man. And like I said, that's why I think we can't appreciate walking around as an avatar, because you basically, again, have to control it like a puppet instead of you are just that skin, in
Right.
the environment at that point.
And of course, the crazy, bulky, MetaQuest crap you got to put on your face now. But like you said, people are working on smaller versions. And yeah, as soon as it looks normal, I think that's the key. People want something that looks normal, a regular pair of sunglasses or whatever, something that you don't know what it is. So yeah, so we'll see. I'm excited, but I think they're going to have to just start from scratch. Same with VeVe and VeVeVerse and any other verse. They're probably going to have to scrap what they have going. But talking about NFTs and games, why don't we move on to Photo Finish Live? Because I mean, to me, this is it. Like this is where it's going, and it's exciting stuff. So, Mo, take it from there, because this is your thing.
Oh yeah, this is my thing, man, and I am. Oh boy, this experience, man, this adrenaline rush that's happening right now with Photo Finish is insane. Again, I've worked, on projects testing lead tester, and it's like everything from Ubisoft with EA, and it's like, man, the vibe around this type of experience and what's happening, taking over the digital realm of horse racing, and the fact that it's being embraced, the sponsorship with the Kentucky Derby, the sponsorship with Twin Spires, all the casinos that they own. You can basically just boom, put this up on TVs just like they do with the OTV or the pavilions, whatever they call them in your part of the country, and yeah, I learned that when I moved to the West Coast. I'm like, hey, where's the OTV? Like, what the hell is that? Like a drug hall or something? I'm like, man, all right, I'm skinny, but Jesus, no. But yeah, like in West Coast, they call them pavilions. But it's so easy for them now to just kind of move this product into the digital realm. Plus, on top of it, and we talked about it, I think, on other shows too, where, other racing forums and associations, like over in the UK and Australia, now here with Naira, and across the country, they know they have to embrace the digital racing. And guess what? Zed Run didn't get the contract. D-Race didn't get the contract. None of these other so-called racing projects got any sort of, notoriety. Photo Finish, man, is as real as it gets. That's their cheesy little catchphrase, and it's crazy, man, because every person I show this game to with this platform, they're like, wait, that's a game? And I'm like, yeah, you can own this horse. You can buy one of these horses. You can wager on one of these horses. You can breed this horse in a few months. You can even buy crown and stake it away in a track and get back a residual income on how much action that track takes in. And whoever has majority stake can even... I think they're going to be able to name the track. They're going to be able to do some stuff with like cosmetics, things like that. So, if we were able to come together and take majority equity, we could have the flip racetrack,
Let's do
the flip
it.
raceways, you know what I'm saying? And just basically handle events, get a kickback of the race purses and the wagering, so.
I love it.
And right now, any entry fee on a race is actually getting you back crown token. It's something like they're doing here early on, trying to just keep people entering races. So basically, every time I enter a race for like $5, I'm getting back like, it was like two and change, sometimes $3 in crown, which I then take and I stake away into a track. I want to make sure I don't want to dox myself, but yeah, okay. You do see what I'm pulling up here, right? Okay. I was just thinking about that for a minute. All right. But anyway, so there's tracks here, right? So you can see how much people are staking. And I can go to my crown staking. I can pull up, what I have staked away and how much I'm going to earn back right now at the end of the month. So again, it's just residual income. And what happens?
And it's fun too. It's fun.
It's fun. Yeah. On top of it all, it's a cherry on top of the sundae, right? But this is crazy, man. Like, there's so many different avenues for people to play this game, join this ecosystem. It's, dude, I've been part of so many projects, and now that this is kind of taken off, because before it was kind of like, oh, it's gonna happen, but you know what? How many times have we said, oh, it's gonna happen?
Right,
oh, it's gonna happen. The next big hit's around the corner, this and that, yada yada yada. But dude, like, this is here. These guys,
it's really here. I mean, I remember when OG Vault was just bringing up with the beta stuff, and you got the free horse and you could breed them, and it's like, oh, this is great, but no way this is going to happen. Nobody can pull this off. Not only did they pull it off, but then they've got this great marketing deal with NBC. I mean, how did they pull that off? I mean, that's amazing right there.
Well, so I think a lot of it comes from when they did their mobile game. See, now I know Ian from back during his Madden days. Because I used to be pretty big into Madden, so I knew a lot of the guys behind the scenes and who would make things happen, and I knew the name, And when I saw him behind Photo Finish, I started kind of looking into who else was in with the project, and you had some guys I think from TBG, NBC. These guys always going to hold some sort of connection, right? And when you build a game that looks like the Kentucky Derby, it's easy for these guys to go to NBC and be like, hey, why not use this to simulate the race? Because you can't use real horses to simulate a race, for many reasons. So here, take this product, and before the whole deal was like, Kentucky Derby simulated. I don't even know if they said photo finish at the time. But, now, I think with part of the deal is, they're down on the infield. There's going to be 50,000 people chilling on the infield Friday and Saturday. And all those people are going to be hanging out the tents with Ian and the gang. They're going to be watching races. I actually, now that they announced that I can let the cat out of the bag, I recorded like 12 races. Squeaky clean, too, which some of you might know is a little tough for me. But yeah, so I actually recorded 12 races for them. They're going to play those down on the infield. We're a little worried about internet and stuff like that with being sketchy. So, yeah, man, it's a big week. Like I said, this whole thing is massive, and who the hell knows what's going to happen to prices, man. Again, not financial advice. I have to be real clear on that, but oh man, like there's crown to buy, there's horses to buy. I mean, if this shit takes off, people were complaining today that the claiming race was the first claiming race of all time. The cheapest, the whole claim was $400 roughly USD, right? Now, that's a little bit higher than what the floor price of a horse is right now. So I get it. You know what I mean? It's tough to kind of push that narrative. But what happens when 16 million people potentially see this shit next weekend?
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
Right?
That $400 claiming price might be, peanuts compared to what we might see some of these early horses go for. So, and you got to take into consideration, people, if they want to get involved now, they have to wait 2 months for baby horses. Minimum. Because horses are going to retire at the end of the season, May 22nd. And then horses will be 3. So if you want to retire, you can retire within the first half of the season, first 2 weeks, and then breed. So now we're talking about another month before the baby's born. So we're looking at June 22nd, the baby's born. July, August is when that baby's going to race. So anybody new coming in today, if they don't want to spend what people are, asking for on the market, they got to wait till August minimum. And who
So when
knows
you're
how many people are gonna. Sorry, good.
Oh, no. I was just gonna say, so if you want to get involved right now, you can either buy a horse that's already racing, doing well, but if you want to get a brand new born, horse, you got to wait time. What is the difference in cost between one that's just born and one that's already doing well?
Well, we have no data on the born horses right now, like I said, because when it was version 2, version 3, and I'm sure Volt can vouch for this one, it was wild, man. Like, prices were astronomical. Everybody was breeding with the same freaking horse every time. It was like, eh. But now, we're really going to see what people value these horses at. And how many people are going to retire these top-tier horses? You know what I'm saying? To breed early when they're going to risk 7 to 8 months of potential racing income. You know what I mean? Do they feel like they can dominate better, when they know their horse is good? Or do they want to risk it, breed it, maybe get a dud on the breed? Maybe the horse is a bad breeder, great racer, bad breeder, who the hell knows? Maybe you can't find a suitable female for it, right? Like, there's so many unknowns when it goes into retiring a horse, breeding a horse, that I'm real curious to see what's going to happen, man. Like, I pretty much been doing daily shows. I kind of have no choice at this point, just randomly throughout the day. If there's like an hour of racing, because the old format of like, hey, let's get together, from 7 to 9 is tough right now. Because it's like, it seems like a lot of people are in overseas, Australia too. So I think it might be a time zone thing where the horses are running from like 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., 3 p.m. is when it kind of tapers off right now. So again, is that going to change? Probably not for a while. So it's kind of hard when you get 45 to an hour, between each race, right? So but yeah, man, it's just, everything's big. I know Vault's got some issues too with the PFL timeline. I kind of share the concern a little bit, but they have free races. You get a free trainer horse. People can come in. Again, there's claimer races. You know what I'm saying? You like a horse that you see coming up here in a race tomorrow, throw a claim in. Maybe you grab it. Again, if you really want to get involved in the project, and I think a lot of people will want to get involved, they will spend the money. We know that. Supply and demand. So, yeah, this whole thing, man, again, is it couldn't be any better. You can't see me because I'm a skeleton, but I'm smiling, dude. This is a good week.
Yeah, no, it looks good. It's really good. Is there any type of cash out? Or are they looking at that? Or are they going to go after people who are into horse racing in that sense?
We mean cash out, like just cashing out your money back to your funds?
Right. Cashing out your funds and all stuff like that.
It's here. You can deposit, withdraw. I don't know how the withdrawal works, because you could deposit directly from a credit card, again, which is the beauty of PFL. I don't want to take up the whole show on this because I probably could, but the fact that they also removed the Solana wallet to be a player here, they don't have to. You just boom, use your credit card, link it, get Derby racing. Want to buy a horse off the marketplace? Want to buy a horse in a claiming race? Credit card to Derby, buy it. You know what I mean? Like,
it's smart.
No more Solana. Go here, trust here. Solana's down 15% by the time I bought my horse. Now I wasted money. Transaction fees aren't a big deal on Solana, thankfully. But outside of that, it's your typical crypto bullshit. Remembering seed phrases and it's crazy.
It's a pain in the butt, which is why I like, other platforms, VeVe, HRO, DC Universe, where you can kind of choose what you want to do. But I think if you're going to get a lot of people to adopt any of this, I think having credit cards, being able to buy that way, a lot of people just don't want to deal with the bullshit of crypto. And I get it, because I've lost some phrases and lost a couple wallets. So it's my own.
I know that happened to Vault too. It said it never happened to me. But I did get my shit drained on my alternate wallet, because I started like wheeling and dealing a little bit, trying to find, the free stuff, and, could I make some money here by claiming these and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, one of them is going to be too damn good to be true, but they're still going to get me, and sure as shit, man, caught me. And I went to go mint something, and it must have just opened up a loophole and, bam, drained me for like $14, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Lesson learned. But, that's why I think the beauty of, cutting out the middleman, which is what makes VeVe so great too, take away the ownership, take away the lack of communication, take away the professionalism. What makes VeVe great is the fact that you don't need all the wallets and shit like that. I mean, if you want to do the Omi thing, that's great,
Right.
But, just to clarify too, Vault's concern on PFL, because again, it is my concern and other people's concern. I think with the free racing, again, because a lot of people said we need free racing, I disagreed. But the way they did it, you know what? You get a free trainer horse. It doesn't use paid horses at all. It's just kind of like a free little side game. Build up your legacy here. You get some training points, which might eventually, translate to crown, or maybe like a horse raffle where gain the most points, win a grade A horse, what I'm saying, for real money, right? So they can always open up that opportunity too, but there are ways, and the claiming races. The claiming races will be a huge deal for those that just can't wait anymore and want to get on the sideline, want to get off the sideline. So yeah, so I mean, I pretty much went crazy on PFL. Again, I've been streaming it every day on Kick, trying to, mingle my way in there. That's why I say to you, even you, B, if you ever get involved, dude. I know we got the DAO going and the syndicate. Yeah. Come on, one afternoon, man. Vault. I tell him all the time, dude. Anytime he's got time, he wants to come shoot the shit. Come on, dude. Like what I'm saying? Absolutely. Like it's just it's what we need to do right now to keep this game, at the top. It's not like there's other people streaming during the day and we could pick up the night shift and sit around for 45 minutes in between races, And we've actually had new people coming off the street on Kick, which is funny to me. Doesn't really surprise me because it's a degenerate website for streaming, casinos and slots or whatever, so I'm not overly, surprised. But it was so hard on Twitch, on YouTube, to just see anybody new come in being like, oh, wow, this is cool, I'm interested, right? Like, it's such a hard hurdle. You're a niche market inside of a niche market. Digital horse racing, and even horse racing itself is so niche, and, I don't even want to say it's a dying sport, because it's really not. But it's not something that a lot of people are into. You go to certain parts of the country, New York, Florida, Kentucky, Southern California, you'll find a lot of horse people there. You know what I mean? Right. But when you start to move away from there, not so much. Sometimes you get these dog racing people with the greyhounds and stuff like that too, right? So yeah, it's crazy, man. But I feel like it's always I think it's kind of on me right now to just
promote
be live when I'm awake. From an unofficial capacity, I don't want to receive, payroll from them because then I can't race, right? We've talked about that. But I just want to do everything in my unofficial capacity to just be live all times, streaming it, calling races, getting more people into it, man, because I don't even care about pumping my bags. I want to see 5-10 years from now when some kid is talking to their friends about a horse they inherited from their parents.
Right.
Like my dad named his horse and now I own it. And now I'm breeding it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a legacy within a legacy. And like real horse racing does that, and it brings people together in that way too. So this in a digital degeneracy type of world, man, this could be really, really cool. I mean, that's I'll kind of let it go.
I'm excited. I'll definitely come on, and I'd love to do some talking during the show. And like you said, I'm involved in the DAO, and I'm excited about the races. So yeah, I'm sure we'll be talking about more of this in the future. I'm excited to see how the marketing does. I think that's going to really help, and let's see where it goes. It's going to be exciting to see. Just to move on so we can go on to the next subject, banking. Looks like we're having more bullshit going on. Banks are going out. Republic Bank. I mean, I don't know if this is fixing itself. I guess it's nice that we have big banks that can afford to just go in and help out these little banks, or take them over. It does worry me on smaller banks that go out of business, because a lot of those, especially in small towns, credit unions, if they start having issues like this, you're not going to have that connection to the local people for loaning money and all of that stuff. So that's kind of one of my worries. But I guess it's good in the sense that somebody can come in and buy them out. What do you think about what's going on here, Mo? Is this good, bad, nothing burger?
I mean, it's definitely not good, man. I think as I'm again trying to step up my production game here a little bit, I'm like, I got all these links, but where the hell are they? Okay, so Yeah, again, I think this should be really, really worrisome on many, many levels. You know, the fact that it's even happening, the fact
Right.
that, you know, how much corruption is really behind all this that we don't even know about. We know it's corrupt, right? I think we can all pretty much see that by now. I don't want to go down too much the rabbit hole with conspiracy theories and stuff like that, but, you know, there is a lot of puppeteering going on and things that I think, if they were ever to come to light, it would just take down everybody at that point. Like, nobody's safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has a hand in all of this because they all want the banks to fail at this point to keep up with the new, you know, national digital currency that they want to use with those, you know, countries that all banded together, right? So,
Right.
if they want to abolish the U.S. dollar, well, then the U.S. needs to abolish the U.S. dollar. And how do you do that? You just start crushing banks one by one. You know what I mean? And not many people have the power to crush a bank, you know, but the government does. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's crazy to think about because it's not like, oh yeah, you know, a bank collapsed 5 years ago. You know, a bank collapsed a couple, you know, 6 months ago. But it's like, dude, every time we turn around, it's like, oh, there's another
Right.
one. There's another one.
4 banks, 5 banks. Yeah, it's nuts. And
The same.
yeah, I just wonder if these bigger banks have a little hand in it. I mean, honestly, you know, they would love to be, you know, have 3 big banks and that's it, right? And that is definitely not good for all of us just to have a, you know, a couple big, you know, JP Morgan Chase or, you know, Bank of America, whatever, just have a few banks out there and these little guys are gone. I guess it'll be interesting, you know, to see all the shenanigans that went on with them investing. Obviously, there's run on banks, which is what's killing them, right? People get scared and they want their money out. Yeah, it worries me. You know, I don't know what's going to happen next. I know if we lose the dollar, we're screwed because obviously oil is bought with the dollar, right? And that's the biggest thing that we trade is that we've got our dollar and everyone uses that to buy oil. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I think it'd be a terrible idea to switch to some other type of currency. But maybe this will force that. I don't know.
I mean, again, I think we're gonna have no choice because if you know the rest of the world who relied on us for whatever it is, 100 years now at this point, right? If they
Right.
relied on us to, you know, basically run the economy of the world, which is a you know a huge undertaking to begin with, um, you know, if they want to try to push us out, I mean, at this point of the game, excuse me, coffee's coming back. At this point of the game, they kind of can. You know what I'm saying? Like when we're at our weakest point, and I think a lot of you know economies are at their weakest point, obviously after COVID, right? I mean, you know, people want to look around in the United States and be like, "Oh, Sleepy Joe, wake up! Biden sucks." You know what I'm saying? But like, hey, Trump would have had the same disaster to clean up
Right.
because every other country around the world has the same disaster to clean up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some places shut down longer than others. I mean, talk to people in Australia. You know, some of the U.S. policies were a joke to Australia. You know,
Right.
and over there they shoot you. You know, some parts of the country here they shoot you. You know, but no, it's crazy though, man. Right? Like when you really start to think about it, the bigger picture here of yes, so they push everybody out, they push out the small banks, and then what happens, right? You can't have one bank as a monopoly because the government's not going to allow that. Then the government's able to step in, you know, and again, whether it's abolish the dollar, create the U.S. dollar, which I think could be the worst thing that ever freaking happens because you can put a expiration date on digital currency. You know what I mean? You can't put an expiration date on a dollar that I keep under my mattress, right? I mean, you could
Right.
try, I guess, with serial numbers and this is no longer valid and yada, yada, yada. But in the long run, you could put an expiration date on digital currency, make it null and void at 1201. If you don't spend it, it's ours anyway, right? So that's an easy way to taper inflation, control inflation. You know, it is so many things that they can do with that, which is why I think this is almost like the tip of the iceberg of what we're seeing. You know?
I mean, you really think they're going to put expiration dates on money? I mean, maybe
do.
they will.
I do.
I mean,
I
I
think
understand
they have to control
yeah.
inflation. They 100% they have to control inflation. If they keep
Right.
giving people money and they hoard the money and they live home with their parents because they realize it's a better idea, they have to screw these people some way, somehow, and that's how you do it. Sit home in your mom's basement on the internet using virtual currency, but guess what? That shit's going to expire. You know what I mean? Your digital, your money that you use to buy your V-Bucks, which may or may not be NFTs at that point, will expire. You know, they will expire, and you won't like it. You know, so what do you have to do? You have to spend it. All right? So
Right.
it stimulates the economy by forcing people to spend the money. You know, and they could be like, hey, we had a good year, expiration dates are pushed back a year, right? They could even go that route and kind of control, you know, the ebb and flow of what's happening based on the economics, forecast. You know, again, and I'm not an economic analysis. I did have my Series 7, believe it or not, in 1999 when I got out of high school. I did it because the guy was like, you like to talk, you're good at getting through the secretaries, you know, here's a job. Got my Series 7, I hated it, you know? Watched a guy make $500,000 on a Monday, wanted to jump out the window on a Friday at the end of the tech crash. You know, like,
Right.
That's not my life. You know what I mean? But when you start to see these things, man, and they start to repeat themselves because history repeats itself, you know,
it does.
I'm really, really concerned, man, about the future of what's going to happen here with the banks. And we have no choice but to trust banks and rely on banks.
That's what it is, right? It's all based on trust. I'll tell you what, the one thing I do want them to get rid of is fucking change. How about we just get rid of that? You know, get rid of the penny and all of that. That
It's
is
a
a pain
start.
in my ass.
It's a start. And that's more of a
put
convenience
expiration
thing.
dates on that. Yeah, definitely.
You know,
But I
that's
mean,
more of a convenience thing too. So it's like,
yeah, definitely. And we're all going towards digital paying for stuff. I mean, we've been doing it with credit cards, and you know, honestly, paper money could be the thing of the past sooner than we think. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Moving on to the next subject, which is kind of connected to this, is the Venmo. You know, now that they're going to be taking the crypto, right? We're going to be able to move that around in there. What do you think this is going to, I mean, this is huge, right? This is a massive company, a PayPal company that is, you know, they've had dealings with crypto, but this is just going to change the game.
oh yeah, this is massive. You know, again, it's kind of like when VeVe disables the transfers on their platform, right?
Right.
People go crazy. You know what I'm saying? The sky's falling, right? It's
Right.
because it's just it starts setting these restrictions and these limitations, and people don't like to be restricted, and people don't like to be limited. You know, as human beings, I'm a skeleton, but we don't appreciate that, and we don't enjoy it, right? So it's kind of one of those things, man, where this is huge. You know, again, being able to just cash in, cash out, transfer money, you know, from point A to point B, MetaMask connections. Again, you did say, right, like PayPal. I know PayPal's had it for a while. As a matter of fact, when I cash out from Coinbase now, I cash out directly to PayPal and there's no fee.
Yeah, that's nice, right?
That's insane. That's insane to me.
Well, and something
You know?
like this is really big because everyone knows Venmo, everyone knows Pay. You know, it's now becoming more mainstream. It's not, you know, some weird company we've never heard of, you know, in another country, right? Now it's becoming more mainstream. So in my mind, for the people who say that, you know, crypto is gone and whatever, you know, I believe in the end there's only going to be a few players, but this just shows me that this is where it's going. You know, be prepared.
I mean, you're 100% right. I mean, crypto's not going anywhere. And, you know, I got people that try to call me out and be like, oh, what happened to your crypto guy? And I'm like, well, first of all, I don't own any of this crypto you're trying to mock me on because I never truly bought into this idea of crypto taking us to the moon. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right.
Do I own some OMI? Sure. Because I believe in Disney and their long-term vision. It's just, I just throw money. Smart money makes money, right? Mark Cuban, you know, always says follow the money too, right? Like just, you see other people throwing money into it, Disney typically makes good decisions, you know. And I just was like, hey, if I'm going to put money into something, buy some OMI. All right, it dropped. Who cares? I'm going to worry about it. It sits there, right? If it goes to $1, congratulations, we're loaded, right?
Right.
But when it comes to a crypto side, I only believe in the technology itself. And I need to be extremely clear with people now when I talk to them about this. I'm not selling you on Dogecoin. I'm not selling you on freaking the new
Meme
Pepe coin. Yeah, I'm not selling you the Pepe coin or whatever, the frog meme of the week, right?
Right.
But the underlying technology of blockchain technology, acting like a ledger, like the old days when everything was visible, there was no shenanigans because everything was on a ledger in the middle of a general store, and people came in, people got their shit, it got filled out, it was updated, it was visible, no questions asked, right? Now, there was a little bit of trust with the general store that they do right by you and not change your prices when you left, okay? But here in a digital world, with the amount of security checks and everything, the way that they disperse, you know, the data over the blockchain, you can't hack this data. because you'd be hacking multiple blocks at the same time, which would trigger some abnormality now in the data, which would then, render it null and void at that point. So take that, combine it with the ZK layer technology that Matic is starting to roll out, and their ZK is basically, you're a trusted source, I'm a trusted source. BK, you know this information, you know that I know this information, but we never relay this information. We only relay the fact that we're both okay to know this information. There's no social security numbers going back and forth, but you're verified to hold this data, I'm verified to hold this data, and the ZK layer protocol will basically match this up, link it, then bring all the packets together, right? And it's a secure transaction. That's what I believe in. I don't believe in Dogecoin. I don't believe in some shit getting pumped overnight. You know what I'm saying? So DMV, California DMV, moving to the blockchain. Banks moving to the blockchain. Smart ones anyway, right? So,
again,
I mean, we're going to see a shift, and I think that's what you're kind of saying too, right? Is like we're going to see this shift, and the strong are going to survive, the weak are going to die off, right? That's kind of the way you see it.
I mean, everyone sees the evil in it, right? The gamblers, the scammers, the criminals, and that's there. But like, people don't realize a lot of the, the ideas behind this, whether it's transferring money from one country to another, or let's say you live in America and you want to transfer money down to Guatemala or whatever, you could do it for pennies than what it would cost, let's say, Western Union, or just buying stuff from other countries. You're taking out that middleman who's screwing over everyone. So there's some really good ideas behind cryptocurrency and the blockchain and all of that. And so that's the exciting part. I mean, people just don't see that right now because they see the gamblers that are involved and all of that. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm interested to see who survives. I don't think it's going to be Dogecoin. Maybe it'll be Omi. That would be nice. I doubt it. Sorry, Randy. I hope for your sake it does. But yeah, so yeah, but it'll be interesting to see where all these things go. But yeah, even myself, I own a little cryptocurrency, and I even bought some of those meme coins, not because I really thought it was going to ever do anything. I don't think it will. I don't think people understand when you have 1 trillion of one coin, it's never going to hit $1. It's never going to hit a penny. People just don't even look at the numbers and realize what's going on. But I do see a future in this. So,
well, yeah, because if you don't, well, yeah, because if you don't have the mechanism to decrease supply, right? And that's exactly, you hit the nail on the head right here. What's up, Danny? What up, man? Hanging out here in chat. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? If you have no way to decrease the supply, which is why I know, even without, VeVe involved with the burn, right? And Disney, that connection, I'm still burning that token when that whole thing takes off, with buying this and buying that and burning the Omi here and burning the Omi that. I mean, shit, man. Even with the, the Randy Chavez, a shout out to Randy. I whatever. I like everybody in the space, man. I don't associate with a lot of them, but, I like everybody. I like everybody's opinion, but man, with the amount of people in this space, dude, like a little bit of a burn is going to go a long way, and you're going to see this price start to get some pressure. And is Omi going to $1? Probably not. And let's just be freaking realistic, right? But is it a good token to have if you're just going to kind of buy something and sit on? Yeah, not financial advice, but sure. Right? Like I'm sitting on some. I still stack some, you know what I'm saying, periodically. Usually when I'm a degenerate too. I mean, I think you kind of know that by now from our private DMs. A lot of people know that. I am a freaking degenerate. I like to gamble. My dad always told me, shout out to him, happy birthday up there. But, if you got $100, hey, you want to risk 50, man, and go have some fun and take a shot, as long as you got no bills to pay and you got nothing, urgent you got to take care of. And I don't have kids. I don't have that responsibility. So for me, sometimes I take a risk with $50. I flip it into a couple hundred or $1,000, And when I do that, that's when I get a little crazy. That's when the meme coins might, hey, you know what?
That's when you got the Omi.
Yeah, $100 into this, if it goes to freaking $60 or $70, I set a stop loss and I get the fuck out, right? Like,
there you go.
It's just know your losses, know what you're comfortable with. If it's free money, it's a free ride, right? So that's just, I don't know. But as far as this whole, crypto thing, and it's not going away. But I think all these coins, yeah, we're gonna see a lot of them die off.
I mean, how can you have that many? Absolutely, absolutely. They're going to die. So, all right. So now into the last little section of the show, the drop zone, where we're going to kind of talk about what's going on during the week. Obviously, I'm big into VeVe. Mo, can you give a middle finger to VeVe with your
No, I'm
skeleton?
back. No, I'm back. I'm back into VeVe. Yeah, they got me. They got me. I'm back.
Okay. All right. They got well, and everyone kind of understands why. The potion, I will say this for all the shit that I give VeVe, the potion was kind of an interesting idea. They're starting to do the things to make it interesting, which is what you have to do. And now we've got the Infinity Gauntlet that's going to come out, and the Infinity Stones that you're going to have to craft. I mean, this is starting to become kind of fun. I wish it wasn't so expensive, and I wish I had that damn secret rare Eye of Agamotto, which that ain't gonna happen now. But yeah, this is really exciting. And as you know, on the 13th of May, we're gonna get the gauntlet, and we're gonna be able to craft the soul stone here on the 6th. So what do you think? I'm excited that you're excited, Mo. So tell me all about your excitement.
Outside of the third wish finally coming true from the genie lamp, because I still think it's gonna happen one day. They'd be like, man, you didn't really think we'd have a lamp with 2 wishes, did you? You know what I'm saying? I just think it's gonna be like that, right? And then the prices are gonna go freaking astronomical. Right. Outside of the Walt statue, which I don't own, I absolutely think this is the greatest thing that will probably ever hit VeVe. I think the only thing that will touch this, in my opinion, is if they gave us, like... Now, again, this would not appeal to me more, but I think to the mainstream. If they wound up doing, like, a Pikachu, and they actually got the Pokemon license, first and foremost. Right. If they got Pikachu that had, like, a sick animation, man. I'm talking sick animation, where it goes from Pikachu to Charizard. Right? Like, in the flash of an eye, right? Like, you just tell, like, transport, or maybe, like, a Pokeball, where you can, like, interact with these things in augmented reality based on like spatial recognition, stuff like that, right? There's so many things that they can do with it. But here's what I'm gonna digress a little bit. Infinity Gauntlet. I am not a comic book nerd. I love the movies, I won't lie. I do really love the movies. This is just cool to me, man. I love it. I think it's cool. I think it might be a little overpriced. Honestly, I might have overpaid. But gotta have it. And I bought the rare. That's what they got more money out of me, those sons of bitches. I bought the rare Agamotto, even though I've said it numerous times with Walt and you. I don't believe they're gonna force it. I always felt the ether was gonna be the pure catalyst of it all. I think Walt and yourself agreed with me on that. I felt that was gonna be the pure catalyst of it all, and I'm kicking myself in the ass. I hadn't take that $1,000 the other day and just buy those things. Because holy shit, man.
Yeah, holy shit.
I knew they were undervalued, man. I knew it. But this gauntlet, dude, I am super hyped. And like I said, there will never be another drop on VeVe that gets me as hyped. Maybe He-Man. He-Man action figures that I can like pose. Maybe like Ninja Turtles too, the classic, But I have to be able to like pose them in augmented reality. Move their arms here. I don't want some pre-made, VeVe type shit that they do. I want like an action figure.
Are you going to be able to mint? Are you going to do the whole thing, or you don't have the ether and all?
Oh, I got it all. No, I got it all. I haven't. I buy it all. I keep it all. I haven't sold any of this shit. I don't sell anything on VeVe. I just pray one day that all this degeneracy pays off. That's it. I'm down 85%. I'm down 90% on some stuff. Who cares? When I looked at my very Deadpool Christmas. I looked at my holiday Groot. I'm like, oh, I got these. I could burn one of these. And I'm like, I paid how much? Right. I'm like, no. I'm just gonna buy another one for like $8, and I'll feel way better about burning that son of a bitch than the one that I paid, X amount of dollars for, because it was ridiculous. My first snow globe, same thing, overpaid for that. Lord. I mean, that's not burnable here, but I paid like $170, I think. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, I got 1,000 digit. Let me pay extra for that. And now there's like, 3 digits at like, $50. So yeah, I want to shoot myself when it comes to that. But yeah, I mean, I bought a bunch of holiday Groots just because I thought with the movie coming out, they would go up. And I also did that in that 3-month contest on that OG Vault has. So hopefully that will help me out a little bit. But yeah, it's actually genius that they're going to get rid of this crap. right? That they're going to burn the stuff
Brilliant.
that they made, 50,000 of, well, not 50, but 20,000 or 30,000. So it's smart. I'm not going to be able to do the minting of everything. I do have the power orb. I don't have the ether. I mean, I guess I could certainly afford to buy it. Maybe you'll talk me into that mode to spend the money to buy it so I can get all the stones and get the extra airdrop.
Wait, so you have none of the stones right now? You have none of the artifacts?
No, I do. I have the power orb. I sold one and I've got one. I almost thought about selling it today. I really want this, but I try to keep my gems at a certain spot. And if I start moving away from that, I start selling to keep it there while adding collectibles. So you're probably right. This is probably the most important one they're going to have. Of course, we said the Lambo was going to be big. I wonder what's going to happen.
I never said that. Other people said that. That wasn't me. That wasn't me. I don't believe in cars or paintings on freaking VeVe. Never have, never will.
Yeah,
they're shelves. They're nothing more than shelves. If you want to buy a painting, it's a shelf to flip upside down, and you better pray the upside down of that damn thing's a nice color that mixes well with your showroom. All right.
So I did buy a
Lambo.
Yeah, I did. I actually made a lot of money off the Lambo. I did probably give a lot back on the Patrick Hughes. I mean, I did some flipping. I've got the secret rare. I've got 333 or 333, and then 69. I'll hold on to them. They're gonna be someone will buy out the floor, and those will go up in value. But I actually wanted to have one. I can't believe how you're right. I'm just done with art and posters and crap like that. It's never.
Wait, you have the 69 Lambo, or you have the 69 of the Patrick?
No, sorry, 69 Patrick Hughes. Yeah, no, the 69 Lambo. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that.
I mean, the art, dude, the art on VeVe is so weird. It really, really is, because if people really truly believe in the potential of the value and the interoperability and being the first things to go off platform and all this stuff that we've been, trained to believe for the past couple of years,
right? Then
these things should be valued a lot higher. But the fact that they're not, I just think people just kind of gave up hope, and I think even VeVe gave up hope on interoperability, to be honest. I still stand firm in my belief that we will not see interoperability. We'll see more of like a click here to sign in with VeVe and link your wallet the same way you do to sign into all these other websites with Google nowadays, right? Like you click it, you authenticate it, it's a verified partner with them, and now you have access to your NFTs. Are you going to see your NFTs on some other platform? Probably not. But it might act as like a voucher almost, or a ticket to be like, hey, this guy owns, the Lambo NFT. Now he steps into the Lambo metaverse or a social platform, and they detect that we own the VeVe, drivable interactive NFT, and now it's like, well, since you own this here, here's a skin. Now there's gonna be people out there being like, oh, they'll never spend the time and the money and do that bullshit. Yes, they will, because at the end of the day, they still are a partner. Okay, they still have the partnership, and if you don't think that you can reskin it to a freaking VeVe color in 30 seconds, chat, tune into my next stream on Kick, and I'll do it live on Unreal Engine. All right. So it ain't that hard. So they can easily reskin things and, again, create this illusion that you're using your NFT while not actually using your NFT. All right? Real quick, too, Denny made a really good comment. I know you said with the chat, you wanted me to keep an eye on it, too.
Yeah,
he said
definitely.
It's a little hard not to get excited about the Gauntlet. He hasn't known any pieces personally, but in his opinion, looked pretty epic and cool how it's all coming together, right? And that's why I'm so excited about it. Because not only do I love the Gauntlet, I think it's really cool, it actually was VeVe following through on a long-term goal. They memed it, they joked about it, fifth stone here, when sixth, David was doing for a bit at that time. And everyone was like, man, is this going to be a freaking, Pokemon shit all over again, or some sort of weird troll, right? Like, which is never a surprise. Nope, no Gauntlet, just buy it for $500. You thought you were going to get it for free, you know what I'm saying? Like, the way that they actually brought this together, the way that, what's his face? Alex, the way he laughed, the way he laughed it off during that whole OTP thing, the OTC deal. The way he laughed that off, I will never tune into their spaces or their things ever again. I'm done with those guys. The disrespect that they showed to the community by laughing that off or thinking they can laugh it off, nah, bullshit. That's not how I was raised. You take it, with a little bit of respect. You treat people with respect, and the fact that you're messing with their money at this point, you'd be a little more professional about it going into it, right?
Absolutely.
But man, this is like a long-term vision. They did it. It came true. I think a lot of people could be hyped for it. And I think long-term, I think this is, again, maybe just because of how many will be available, it might not be the crazy, valuable thing early on. But long-term, people could be looking for this shit. 100%.
It's fun. I mean, this is really, it's exciting. We've got a month to do all of this. It's going to be interesting to see how the first crafting goes here this weekend. And yeah, I am a little excited. I'm kind of jealous. I'm not going to probably, be able to do it, but maybe I will spend the 150 on the ether. I mean, basically that's the most expensive thing, right? That's the other stuff is easy. So I'm probably looking at about $200 and I can get it. So maybe it's stupid if I don't do it. We'll talk more about that later. But yeah, this is I'm excited. This is really, thank you, VeVe. I mean, I have given them a lot of crap, but they do deserve props. And where's our Moon Boy alarm? I think we're both Moon Boys here, but I do want to give them props. I mean, if I'm going to give people shit, right, when they do something right, I got to give them credit. And I haven't seen this fully executed, but this is a beautiful idea. Good job, David Yu. Good job, VeVe official. This is great. This is one, burning stuff. I mean, it's smart, yeah. So yeah, this is exciting. I'm really happy that they did this, and hopefully they can continue it, because this is the type of stuff that we're going to need to keep people excited. If they don't keep this up, that's the only problem. Like, they're going to have to up, they're going to have to up their game now that they've done this. So now we got to start thinking about what's that next thing that we want that has to be crafted. But yeah, good job, VeVe. Good job. Is there any other drops that you're excited about this week? I know we've got the DC, the comics. If you get the 4 epics, you're going to get a poster drop. I hate to say a poster, but maybe that's just a bad thing on VeVe. You excited about that?
Wait. I was just about to say, because we had a little bit of a technical difficulty here earlier. I didn't get a chance to look at the DC. So what you're saying, that the comic coming out this week, if you collect all 4 rarities, you get a poster?
No. So if you collect the epics over the next 4 weeks, there's going to be and I don't believe I got that wrong, and we could pull it up if you want to, but yes, if you get, it's only on the epics. If you get the 4 epics that are coming, Dawn of DC, if you get the 4 epics over the next 4 weeks, they're going to be releasing every week, then you're going to get an airdrop, and it's only on the epics. And they say you can buy it in the market, you can get it on the drop, whatever you do. If you have those, you'll get this airdrop. So hey, there's another utility, something exciting. Unless I fucked that up and got it wrong.
If you have a link, I'm trying to look real quick. I mean, again, I've been slacking a little bit on my DC, because I'm kind of like in a Ronco mode with most of my holdings except Photo Finish right now. For those of you that aren't old as hell, like me and BE here, Ronco was a set it and forget it guy on TV, where he just puts the freaking rotisserie in there, walks away, comes back like an hour later, right? The shit's done.
Right. Set it and forget it.
Set it and forget it, baby. Right? Yep. So I'm kind of in Ronco mode on DC. I kind of just, last week or whatever, I logged in, and I just kind of I sent you my little degeneracy thing there that I hit. And I was like, man, let me just buy some comics, So I threw some money in there, bought some comics. I can't even cash out. You know what? Take my money. I'm not looking to cash out. Anybody crying about cash out, you're doing it wrong. Not financial advice, but you're doing it wrong. You don't want to take it from some stone skeleton on the internet, and my boy VE here. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, you're doing it wrong. This is not the time to get out. If you actually are buying it, thinking that this whole thing is the future, then just ride it out. Ride the low, take the high, because it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, the people who are, again, just go back, and I said this on Fodder, if you just go back to what we were saying 2 years ago or a year ago, if you really believed what we were saying, that hasn't changed, right? Just because the scammers and criminals may be moving away, if you still believe in something, it's still going to be good whenever you were believing it was going to happen. And I believe that with VeVe and the DC stuff. So yeah, and of course I want that goddamn Action 1, and a few others.
Oh
You
man.
know,
Oh yeah, we got
oh,
Action Comic 1, we got
yeah,
Batman #1, we got Detective
yep,
Comics 27.
yep,
We still have All-Star Comics #8, which is first appearance of Wonder Woman, and I'm learning
right.
way too much about this shit to be
I know,
41
right?
years old. For someone who was not a comic book guy, sometimes I start rattling shit off and I'm like, "Ooh, am I not a
How
comic
do I
book
know
guy?"
that?
Yeah, like I
Totally.
probably should know that. But, but I do, and I'm actually starting to. I'm starting to grow a little bit of an appreciation for some of the characters and the stories. Again, I love the MCU movies. Wasn't a comic
Yeah,
guy. Watched the
right.
X-Men cartoon, loved the theme song, had me hooked. I watched all those cartoon episodes. But when it came to Spider-Man in the afternoon, it just never really kind of got me. You know. Then they released the one with Tobey Maguire, and I watched it. And I thought it was cool. And then the other ones came out, and they rebooted it, and then they rebooted it again. And now
Right.
he's in the MCU, and now you can kind of see yeah, this is the Spider-Man we need.
That
Jumping
was
in
the
with the
Spider-Man we needed. Yep,
yeah, jumping in with
totally.
the Avengers. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
not the broody, moping around Spider-Man. Like we need the quick talking, type of Spider-Man that they brought in.
The fun
Um,
one, yeah.
yeah, the fun one. But this
Yeah.
whole space, man. Like I said, there's so many comics. There's not a lot when you can consider like the Grails, I guess, especially on DC. There's probably the three that I mentioned are
Right.
above Superman #1, believe it or not. Actually, no, I think the order is Action Comics #1, Bat, no, Detective Comics
You think it's 20
27.
oh, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I think it's Action Comic number
Detective.
one, Detective Comics 27.
Yeah.
Then I think it's the first appearance of Green Lantern from like 1938. As
I
some
mean,
bozo on Twitter tried calling me out one day, and I'm like, "Yeah, go check your prices, bro." I'm like,
right.
this is actually the third most valuable one out there. And if the people are gonna take their digital prices by that, then we kind of have to plan for that, right? So
Absolutely.
that's #3, you know. But I could see Wonder Woman first appearance fetching more than first appearance of Green Lantern in the year 2023. I could 100%
Well,
see that happening.
what if we get and this is my thing, what if we get more women? This is a man's game right now. I don't,
Whoa,
if
whoa,
we get
whoa.
more women.
BE does not share the beliefs of both hosts on this panel, by the way, chat. All right. Just want to throw it out there. I'm trying to get canceled on the first week. Go ahead. Go ahead. Now you can go back and
No,
save
no,
yourself. Go ahead.
well, yeah, so, my fiance, she likes VeVe, but I don't see that many women on the app, on VeVe and some of these other platforms, and I think when they adopt it, and they will, I think that's gonna be huge. I think, that's why I think a lot of these female characters and comics, those are gonna be, wanted more. I mean, they're 50% of the population, right? So, if there are only 10% of the people on there right now, maybe people aren't buying those as much now. Maybe those are the ones to look at because I think they're going to change the game once they adopt it more. Am I wrong?
I don't think so. You should pick your words very carefully also. Shout out to Shelly Cobra in chat. Hello. Um, I say Shelby Cobra. I think I might say
Shelby
Shelly.
cover. You got it. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
anytime after 420, you got to be careful. But
Yes.
anyway,
Yes.
you know, yeah, I don't know, man. I think we will see a lot of, more women coming into the space, and there are quite a few. Even my girl in particular, some days I can feel the eyes rolling into the back of her head when she calls me, and I'm like in the middle of something VV related or NFT related sometimes. Like, oh man, just shut the hell up. But then, the more the time goes on, like the Platinum Mini, she kind of got into it. She got excited, that we were able to get one and hung on to it, watched it.
Right. Of course.
But yeah, I
It
don't know
happens.
if,
It
OBS
happens.
is
I mean,
disconnected.
are we still here?
Shows me and you fine, but I don't know if the stream just hiccuped there for a second.
Nope. Shelby Cobra, are we still there? See if she. Maybe we're gone. Shelby Cobra, are we still there? I don't know. See if she. Anyone in chat?
Yeah, we're
No,
good.
maybe we're gone. Shelby Cobra, are we still there?
No, we're good.
Oh,
We're
there
live.
we
We're
go.
live.
All right, we're
We're
in.
live.
All
We're
right.
good. That's my
Yeah.
fault.
Hey, like we said, this is a soft start. We're learning what we're doing here. Yeah, it's funny because I know Shelby Cobra only goes for the drops that piss me off because she always gets the low mints and the good stuff. So, but it's fun. I mean, the fact that she's involved with it makes it fun for me, and I think there's a lot of couples out there that do that, and it's actually, I think it's brought us together. It's also made me hate her sometimes, right?
You know, we've thought about that. Me and my girl, we get along pretty well, but we're both competitive people. We actually have the exact same. We actually have the exact same birthday, just different year, which is funny. It's funny. But yeah, so it's like she might do some of the Disney stuff, maybe potentially down the road. But I keep trying to get her to do DC. I'm like, you don't understand the potential of you just making a freaking DC account so that when Action Comics #1 comes out, you're verified and we can get 2. Like,
yeah,
why could we only get 1 if we could just get 2? And I understand you don't want to hear about this crap half the time, but I feel like I've never gotten a secret rare on VeVe. I've got 2 ultra rares, one recently on the Punisher drop. Whoop-de-doo, freaking $39. Yeah, right. Yay.
Right.
I'm gonna hang on to it. Thank you very much. And then what's it called? The first appearance of Moon Knight. I got a ultra rare, which I thought was a pretty cool cover. It was actually worth the decent amount for a while, but it tanked like everything else. And again, should have sold it, bought it back 10 times, right? But anyway, I've never gotten hooked up. Never got a legendary on DC. Whatever. I feel like they're waiting. I feel like they're saving
big
it.
One. Yeah, the big one. They're saving it for you. I'm screwed. It's over for me. I got that AF-15. That's it. I got that secret rare. So my luck's all been used.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, VeVe's like, fuck you. We're going to give you commons when they're worth less and uncommons when those are worth less. So they just give me whatever the worst one for that comic is.
So, you still have that comic?
I do, and I have people. I should have sold it at 23, then I should have sold it at 10. It's at 13.
No.
I'm writing it to 0. I paid $20 for it. I will ride that to 0. What's the point? Maybe if it goes to 50, I'll sell it. But could you imagine what that would have been worth? At the height. I mean, what would that have hit? With 100,000, 150? I don't know. I mean, those were, of course, there was some scamming going on there. But man, I just think about that. Like, if I keep it, maybe it does something big. I wouldn't suggest somebody putting $13,000 into that comic, but man, if you got it for $20, keep it.
I would never, ever spend that much money on probably anything, to be honest.
Right, exactly.
Not even my cars. My cars, I'm like, what's the oldest car I can get but still deliver Uber Eats? You know what I mean? And has automatic windows, right? So I wound up with like a 2005 Honda Civic, You're
like me. I used to care about cars. I don't give a crap right now.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I always tell people, if you give me $1 million, I'm going to buy the same exact car if you gave me $30K. I'm going to buy a 8-cylinder Mustang GT, not even tuned. I'm just going to grab a Mustang 6-speed or even 5-speed, whatever the hell they come at in the GTs, and just grab it, manual, whatever the newest ones are. That's it. I'm not going to go buy a Lambo. I'm not going to go buy some exotic car. You know what I'm saying? Even with $1 million, I would never do it.
It's ridiculous.
Would I buy 2 Mustangs? Maybe. Let's not get crazy. I might buy 2 Mustangs if I had $1 million, all right? But, no, man, it's just, that's the world we live in, right? Like, all these things that people, because I think we can both agree, right? Like, human beings love to brag. They love to just, gloat about what they got. You come to someone's house, it's like you get the tour of the place. Here's my collection. Here's this. Here's that.
My big TV. Yeah, all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what happens when you just force it to people and they have no choice? You go driving by and they got their, Apple AR lenses on. They see you passing by in your car and you got, the Ghostbuster Slimer just kind of rotating around, following your car around. they got no choice but to see it. You know what I mean? Like and maybe you're in like a scavenger hunt, you know what I'm saying? Trying to, stay on the move from like an ecto trap that's trying to grab you, you know what I'm saying, in the neighborhood. Which is something,
it's like
man.
Pokemon Go in real life again.
Oh, yes. And let me tell you something. I'll never ever talk about it on stream. Maybe we can have a private conversation. I have an idea for a game, and I swear to you, if I ever bring this to fruition, me and a couple of you guys are going to retire. That we bring together here for this crazy thing. I'm telling you, it's such a good idea. It can't fail, but we're not going to talk about it here.
We'll
future,
talk about that later. I'm game. Yeah. I'm for sure game.
Yeah. But like I said, man, the future of where we're going, digital, whether you like it or not, these kids today, they want to brag just like people our age did. Instead of wearing sneakers, they're going to want the digital sneakers. That's why Nike has .swoosh. Right. And we didn't really talk about the Nike stuff at all. I don't know if you have the membership. I do. Yeah, I got
the
it.
poster.
Yep, got the poster, right? So now it's like, you hang on to it. Maybe that poster goes for some money you want to flip out and, not hang on to it. Well, flip it out. But
Exactly.
am I going to buy the shoes and everything that drop? Honestly, I might.
Right.
Shit.
It all depends on what's gonna right. It's funny because it's like, how much is it gonna cost? Is it
Yeah.
worth it? I mean, money probably won't stop me from buying it, but
What's
if it's freaking $200 and I can buy a real pair of good shoes, that's gonna mess with me a little bit.
well, but here's the
Like,
thing, right? So like, and this is a unplanned segment, even though we kind of talked about the segment name, good cop, bad cop.
right,
Is this something that we would cop, or isn't it something that we would not? Is it something we wouldn't cop, rather?
right.
Good cop, bad cop. So basically, my thought process on the Nike NFTs, and if maybe I can bring it up here without logging in because I'm on a different browser. But what's cool about the Nike NFTs is that they have like different categories, right? So some of them are gamified, right? So they'll have like integration out the box with certain games, certain platforms, things like that. Which I think is crazy. That's going to really, because if they tell us that the collection we're going to get is nothing more than like an opportunity to buy like a real life shoe, well, pass for me. If it's an NFT shoe that these young kids can buy and wear in Sandbox or some other platform that's got integration, because again, this is all Ethereum-based blockchain, right? Like this is OpenSea. This is again, this isn't VeVe. This isn't like a closed ecosystem where they make the rules here. They just make the NFTs here. So to me, that's going to kind of dictate how I kind of approach this whole thing with Nike. But yeah, I think it's
we got the
too.
poster for free, so that's at least we got that. I mean, there's only 108,000 of them, right?
Now I don't know, because there's like little things where it says bound to account or something like that. Again, I'm not logged in here. I don't want to dox myself here, but only because I think it has my name on the actual swoosh NFT, which is weird.
Yeah, I think it does on mine too. Oh no,
Yeah,
I think I put VeveDrop. Yeah,
it's funky on mine. But yeah, I mean, like I said, if they're like, hey, you got this poster, here's a cool drop. You could use it in the Metaverse game or a social platform, whatever you want to call it. Sure, I might actually buy it because the first Nike shoe that comes in.
It's the first. You know what?
That's it.
Now you're convincing me. Stop it.
Good cop, bad cop, man.
First, right? Yeah, it's I'm probably going to end up doing it with the post. There's, first of all, anyone who I mean, the poster's nice. Is it going to be worth a lot? There's 108,000. There's not going to be 108,000 burned. They're not going to have that many NFTs. At least I don't think so. Maybe they will if it's that crazy, or maybe it'll be like the bat cows. It's like, we're going to mint these for this amount of time and then we'll never do it again. And then you'll get like real shoes the rest of your life, right? Some crazy experience or something like that.
I mean, they could. I mean, like I said, if this whole thing keeps going the way, analysis keeps saying it's going to go, even though, Metaverse not talking about it anymore, listen, it's still there. You know what I mean? They can just piggyback off somebody else, use their device, let everybody else do the hard work, figure shit out, and then just play it on MetaQuest. So why, you know what I mean? It's like, why do the work? Why look like the fool when you can't perfect it, and now everybody else is already surpassing you? You know what I mean? Because I bet you nobody uses Horizons on MetaQuest.
Right.
Compared to Spatial. Right? You can use Spatial on MetaQuest now, I thought.
Yeah, the Horizon Business one, I forgot what it's called. It's a ghost town, just like all their other stuff. Right? You can go walk into a comedy club or something. Nobody's doing it. It's just nobody's doing it. We need Elon Musk to figure something out. He could make it work.
We need better tech. We need seamless integration. We need better tech, and we just need the right people do the right thing, because it seems like every time you turn around, there's some weird ass rug happening or some weird Logan Paul shit where it's like, oh, whatever happened to the project he was talking about, and it's like, well, great, there goes NFTs again for a couple weeks, because mainstream media picks that up. They
pick up the bad stuff. They do pick up the bad stuff.
They pick up the bad stuff.
Gives everyone a bad name.
Yep.
So,
but
all right, cool. I think we went a little bit overboard here, but that's all right. I want to thank everyone for coming by. Thanks, Mo, for allowing me to do this with you.
Yeah,
And
man.
thanks
Thank you
to
for having me. Shit, and thanks for
did
chatting, hanging
we
out.
have 5 people on here? I think we might have actually had 5 people. I'm excited.
We might have broke. I think we might have broke 7 or 8 at one point. Actually, no, we were at like 9 actually at one point.
All right.
But, you know,
hey,
listen.
I'll take it. Maybe one of those is mine. That's happened to be on there. But anyways, either way, guys, we're excited that everyone's there. This was, like I said, kind of a soft start. We're gonna production value will go up, and we won't have as many mistakes. And yeah, thank you for coming by. And I think we're gonna stick with this time, right? I think this works. 6 Eastern on Mondays, right?
Yeah, man. 6 Eastern Mondays. Check us on the flip, man. That's what we're gonna be.
Yep. And we'll go ahead and publish this, and I'll probably put in some stuff in there so you can find specific stuff in here if you liked it. But yeah, thank you guys for coming by. We will see you next time. Thanks again, Mo. And until next week.
Peace. Catch you guys on the flip.
Yep. Bye.
Good luck to Denny, by the way, getting his wife to do VeVe. Shout out. Later.